Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Council of Elrond podcast, where we discuss all things Lord of the Rings. And today we come back to you now at the turn of the tide, as there's just simply too much news regarding Middle-earth that we just cannot ignore. So, yes, we have a lot to discuss on this episode regarding the Hunt for Gollum. The 25th anniversary of the Lord of the Rings is this year, so what that means for us. Potential new Middle-earth movies. We've got, obviously, the traditional Rings of Power update. We've got new Lego sets, and we've got much more. So, let's get into it. I am your host, Dave, and I'm joined as always by this dashing young man.
Hi, folks.
My brother, Jonathan.
Hi, guys. Lovely to, I was going to say nice to hear you, but unfortunately, you're going to have to be hearing us. So, nice for you to hear us.
So, welcome back, Johnny. How does it feel to don the headphone once again?
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been away for a little while there. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was trying to get myself set up there. I was trying to connect all my my mic and my webcam and all that kind of stuff. I was like, how did I used to do this before? Just even the technical things. It's funny when you just stop doing something for any length of time. It kind of just takes a little bit of time to get back into your routine and back into your habit. But yeah, here we are now. We're ready to go, and I'm excited to be back. It's a nice feeling.
I mean, they talk about muscle memory, but I have neither muscle nor memory, so that's not going to work. Just best of luck to me in the editing, because I don't remember how to edit an episode anymore. So let's see how this one goes. But Johnny, I think we just get straight into it. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard some bits over the last week or weeks concerning the Hunt for Gollum. So something that goes a few weeks, maybe even a few months back, is the confirmation that Sir Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood are officially confirmed to be back playing Frodo Baggins and Gandalf. Not in that order. But Johnny, does this bring you joy or does this bring you sorrow?
Oh yeah, no, joy, all there's no sorrow at all in this. I know that there's been a lot of stuff online in both camps, as there always is. I've kind of tried to sort of take a step back from looking at everything that's online as well. I'm kind of just trying to stick my head in the sand. It's a pretty good approach. In general, I'm very, very excited to see these beloved actors come back to play these beloved characters. So, delighted. The only downside, I suppose, is that we didn't get the whole cast. We didn't get Viggo back to play Aragorn, but you take what you can get, I suppose.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there. That's what we're going into next, is the report that Aragorn will not be played by Viggo Mortensen and the character will be recast. So this is some news that has come out in the last couple of weeks as well. We're only just getting a chance now to react to it. But this came in from Night Edge Media. They're a Twitter journalist group of guys. I'm not really sure. They followed us recently enough, so now we're going to be able to get the inside scoop. But they learned exclusively that the character of Aragorn will be recast with a younger actor in the upcoming Lord of the Rings spin-off film The Hunt for Gollum. The studio originally wanted Viggo Mortensen to possibly return as the character and use de-aging technology to make him appear younger, given that Mortensen was very much open to returning for the role, as it is stated on Instagram, though it seems like that will not be happening. So several actors have already met with director Andy Serkis about the role, but their names are currently unknown. So an Aragorn recast.
Could you imagine, Dave? Could you imagine if it was all kept very hush-hush and under wraps and there was no names leaked, or maybe there was names leaked, it doesn't matter, but then suddenly there's the big unveiling, and it's it's the return of the king, and it is actually Viggo.
And it's Robert Downey Jr. who takes off the mask.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could be a Captain America type thing where Steve Rogers or Chris, whatever his name is, has been denying being part of the Avengers. Evans.
One of the Chris's.
I thought you were just calling him a prat. He denied returning as Captain America, and then suddenly, boom, trailer, and he's there.
Obviously, it's going to be really weird to see any other actor playing in the role of Aragorn, because we're just so used to seeing Viggo don those scruffy robes and just play the absolute scruffy in his Strider gear. But I know that you're always, whenever you think of Aragorn, you think of him at his coronation, where he's just got that elegant look, and you're always going about how much you love his beard in that scene as well. So
his beard is so beautiful.
So I'm sure they probably, I don't know, it could be the right call. If they, like, obviously their first choice was to have Viggo and to try some de-aging software and just to see how that worked. But maybe they just said, like, look, we gave it a shot, but it's not gonna, be convincing enough. And I suppose we should probably more or less trust the people that are in charge of this in terms of directors and lots of the staff that we know that are like running the crews and stuff. So I'd give them the benefit of the doubt to say that they I think their interests are the same as our interests.
I mean, you're right, that's true, but like, I must remind you that this is Weta Workshop that are going to be working on this film, and they have probably one of the best facial scanning technologies in the world, or in the film industry. Like they've done the Avatar movies, and they're constantly pushing new boundaries. So I don't know. I think they could get a couple of wrinkles off Viggo's face if it came to it. But
maybe there's a lot of just running around and actually chasing Gollum, and Viggo, he's. What is he? He's in his 60s, anyways.
87.
They just didn't. Maybe they just didn't want to actually, be putting his face on a double for like loads of scenes where he's running around the place, and it was just going to be too much effort, and maybe it's just priced out of the budget, or I don't know. Films have been doing that for years, where they use stunt doubles and where they can find ways around that and kind of come up with creative sort of solutions to these types of things that don't necessarily have to be just get a body double in there and then stick his face on in post in some software. So there's got to be some other ways.
All the Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just to hone in on this as well, with just wanted to bring in that the OneRing.net, which I'm sure you are very much aware of, and a lot of our listeners would be too. They do the Torn Tuesday thing, so OneRing.net Tuesday Talk. And on January 6th, it was revealed that Aragorn is being recast for the Hunt for Gollum, with auditions currently underway. So this is kind of new information that it's real, it's happening. So Justin from the OneRing.net says, quote, "The conversations I had over the weekend were with real people, not just anonymous names on the internet. Based on those conversations, auditions for Aragorn are taking place this week in London. Aragorn is being recast, with auditions happening both in London and New Zealand." The interview also noted that casting's not limited to established names, because there's been a lot of, fan talk online, including myself. I personally went for Nikolai Coster-Waldau from Game of Thrones. Jaime Lannister. I think he'd be a perfect replacement. I got a lot of stick online. That'd be a weird one,
because like there's so many videos online and on YouTube of people compared like, who's the greatest, and obviously because of probably what George R. R. Martin's comments saying how Jamie could take Aragorn, which is absolutely ridiculous. We've got our own video up online. I think talking about that. Yeah,
we've done a video.
I'm trying to remember. I was like, I'm definitely remember seeing some thumbnail. I was like, actually, that was for one of our old videos of like the two guys facing side by side. But I'm sure there's loads more of that same kind of thing, that same discussion.
Probably, but I wasn't doing the whole thing of like, let me just think of a fantasy thing with swords and a dashing man. Like, I literally think the two of them look very, very similar. I think they've got similar facial bone structure. I don't think Nikolai is as good an actor as Viggo, but I think he's pretty good. I did look up his singing skills because I wanted the Aragorn to be able to sing, I found a video online of Nikolai, and I was like, he's not great, but sure, look, it's not going to be him. It's apparently what we're hearing in London is that they're looking for unknown actors. So that is what's coming from the OneRing.net. So I just wanted to finish off that with Justin. He went on to say, "I've been told by people close to casting that Ben Barnes, you might know him from Narnia, The Punisher, Westworld, and Sebastian Stan, who a lot of people know as the Winter Soldier, they are considered too old for the vision of Aragorn."
Oh, wow.
So these were some of the names that had been floated around. The film reportedly takes place in the 20 years prior to the Fellowship of the Ring, acting as a bridge between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Now, obviously, some of it is during the Fellowship of the Ring, but yeah, obviously some of it will be kind of a bridge movie. So yeah, I don't know. I was going to ask you if you had any sort of fan cast yourself, but like it's kind of pointless at this point when we know it's not going to be anyone that we know, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could. I'm sure there's loads of pages out there just speculating on here's my favorite choices, but to be honest, I don't know. I think your shout's a good one, and when you just said Sebastian Stan, I was like, oh, he could be good, and then you were like immediately he's been ruled out. I was like, oh, right, okay. I don't know. Yeah,
I think those were the names that were put forward, and then that was the journal or the inside source saying no, these kind of profiles are too.
Can we just get Paul Mescal to do it because he's doing everything these days?
Yeah. Or your man,
Barry Keoghan.
Your man, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, Pedro.
Or Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say as well that other names that are floating in the mix for this movie, not for Aragorn, but Thranduil could be reprised by Lee Pace. Now, again, there's nothing concrete behind this.
He'd love to come back for that as well, I'm sure.
I'd say he would love it. He's talked about how much he's loved working on the Hobbit movies. But a lot of the movie takes place in Mirkwood, so it would make sense. Of course, you've got Orlando Bloom, who has made it clear that he would love a paycheck as well. I mean, he'd love to return. So yeah, I don't know. Anyone else? Any other characters? Would you throw a Hugo Forehead into the mix there as a random?
I don't.
Or a Tauriel or something.
I don't know. I'd say. I mean, if Elijah's coming back, I wouldn't be surprised if the whole all four of them came back. Yeah, they're basically inseparable these days. It's like when one's there, you have to send the others home in a sack if you want to get rid of them.
Even when they've been summoned to a secret meeting and they have not. Yeah, I don't know. I like there's a couple of character or names that I'm trying to think who would make sense. Obviously, you could put Elrond doesn't make sense, but you could put him like on a Palantir on a phone call with Thranduil or something, you know. And
how about Christopher Lee?
Johnny, we haven't been out of the podcast game that long. I was going to say for Fran Walsh, she can come back and do a couple of screams for the Nazgul. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
We could have some Nazgul in there.
Surely, our friend Jed Brophy could come back and play orc / Rohirrim warrior / whatever.
Elf maiden / puddle / a piece of grain of sand.
Like surely I hope he's involved. He'll definitely get
100%. 100% he'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll 100% be back. I know I'm not saying this with any inside scoop or anything. I just
have you been messaging him?
No. He actually that'd be worth sending him a message and say, man, how many characters are you playing in this movie? You're going to break your record. I don't know. I'd say he'll be back, but I'd say even the likes of Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd, like the way they came back for the War of the Rohirrim movie and they just voiced two orcs.
Yeah,
they'll be in there.
They'll be there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't separate them, lads. Yeah, as you said, they could just be extras and do some fun bits and pieces, like Daniel Craig playing a stormtrooper or something like that. That kind of little bits and pieces. Yeah,
just to be there on set, like I'm sure, it's 100% going to happen. I personally would love to have Viggo back. I know everyone's talking about the recast of Aragorn, but that's fair. But I think they could still have Viggo back, similar to the way they had Ian Holm and Elijah Wood for the Hobbit movie. So just Aragorn or Viggo just starts narrating, and then the voice kind of modulates into the younger character of whoever's playing Aragorn, kind of like the way do you remember they did the Gandalf Saruman reveal in the Two Towers when you see Gandalf for the first time and it sounds like
they've blended both their voices together. Yeah I was going to say I heard this somewhere before. Maybe it was just you and I talking about it offline at a different point. Yeah, sometimes we have conversations where they're not recorded, and I think at one point we did speak about that, how it'd be cool if it opened with Aragorn doing a voiceover and introducing the story, and then if he was basically just a narrator please just narrate the whole movie, Viggo, that it'd also be class. And then it just zooms into the new guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it finishes with him, doing the kind of stereotypical thing of closing the book, and he's maybe reading the story to his son Eldarion, and that would be cool, because then that kind of adds a little bit more to the trilogy. It kind of adds on to the Lord of the Rings, where you get to see a little bit of Viggo in his older, or Aragorn in his older state. I think that'd be cool. But I'd love to have him back at some capacity because they haven't completely ruled that out. They just said Aragorn will be recast.
Yeah.
So
in Doomsday.
Aragorn will be back. Yeah. Now, Johnny, of course, you and I have been in quote unquote the industry for a small bit now, and we may not have much, but we have built a few sources of our own. Unfortunately, I cannot mention who is in the running for Aragorn, but we have two names that have been given to us, and our sources told us that it's 99% going to be one or the other. Now, I know this may be frustrating for people to hear, but what it does tell us is that things are moving and they're getting close. So we are getting close to Aragorn being officially confirmed, and it'll probably be public news in a matter of months. I will say that the names that we've heard are relatively unknown for me anyways, with my movie industry knowledge. However, one of these actors will be leading a big movie in 2026, and that's all I know. That's not really a spoiler. I'm not giving anything away there, but yeah, exciting. So
yeah, as I said,
let's see who it's going to be.
It is just a sign of like how, you know, the wheels are turning and everything's in motion now. So you know, if this could be the pebbles that start the avalanche in the mountains. I still speak in riddles.
One thing that hasn't changed since you've returned to this podcast. Still speak in riddles. Another thing I wanted to bring up here was Caleb Williams, who is a film and TV reporter and the editor-in-chief for Night Edge Media, so the same journalist who broke the Viggo not being recast news. Yesterday, he had tweeted on the 15th of January 2026, and he says, quote, "Small tidbit. Casting is currently underway all this week for a young Smeagol in the Hunt for Gollum movie. Hashtag Hunt for Gollum, hashtag Lord of the Rings." So, who would be in your books to play Smeagol, John? A young Smeagol. We could have Steve Buscemi. We could have Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. Basically, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to put forward an actor's name without just being like, okay, you look like this Gollum creature and we all think you're horribly ugly and stuff. So, I don't know. You've already jumped ahead and said people like Steve Buscemi and I would say Macaulay Culkin. Low blow.
But only when he was doing heroin.
Who? Smeagol?
Yeah. No, sorry. Actually, that news came out first, and then it's been updated today on the 16th of January that it's a young child. So they're actually looking for an actor between 8 and 10.
Very young.
So,
right,
yeah.
Okay. Why are they getting a small, like, why are they getting a young Smeagol, like that young?
They're going to probably do flashbacks to his past. They're probably going to give us something small. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a massive role, but I assume this will be the Smeagol / Gollum story from life till... Yeah,
I suppose I just get so caught up and excited when I hear like, oh, Gandalf's back and Frodo's back and Aragorn's back, and I just kind of completely forgot about it being like a Smeagol story.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing.
I need to like,
it is,
I need to go back and just like, I need to rein it back in and just kind of like, okay, I don't want to say lower my expectations because I can't do that, but still just kind of like realize, okay, this is a Smeagol focused movie. Hopefully it's going to be better than that Smeagol game, the Gollum game that came out.
Oh God. I wanted to bring something into the podcast. It's something that I shared this week on X. There's a lot of negativity online for the Hunt for Gollum. Like, a lot of people are like, why is this the movie that is chosen? There's so many other good things that you can do. There's a lot of people calling it a studio cash grab and these kind of things. But something that I've come across this week that has really put my mind at ease, because, you know, of course I've asked these kind of questions. You and I have both asked these kind of questions as well. Like, why not do the Angmar Wars, or why not do something else that they would have the rights to? But on the special features on the Fellowship of the Ring DVD, you can actually listen to Sir Peter Jackson and Philippa Boyens on the commentary discuss their idea for the Hunting of Gollum movie. That's a quote.
Yeah.
Many years ago. So they labeled this as movie 3.5 and that they would have loved to have made it, but never would get the chance to do so. Now, obviously, they didn't know what the movies would go on to do and how this would become a franchise and some of the most successful movies of all time. But they initially wanted to have extensive scenes in the Fellowship of the Ring with Gandalf and Aragorn meeting and hunting down Gollum, but it never came to fruition because of because of timing, because of Peter Jackson wanted to go into a lot of that story, but he just said this is almost a movie itself. That's why they coined it 3.5. Our movie 3.5. Philippa also mentions that Saruman Searching for the Ring would be another good movie. If anyone wants to hear that clip, it's on our socials for you to go and watch. So
yeah.
I think I put up a reel on Instagram and it's up on X as well there. Yeah. So how does that make you feel? Do you feel a little bit better about this? That like it's not just a random thing, but they actually thought about this 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, I already knew that this team of people were the people that were working on it, so I was kind of relatively comfortable with it. But then hearing that, I'm kind of going, okay, this is actually an idea that it's not just come to them in recent weeks or months or whatever, in the last couple of years. It's been kind of growing in their mind for the last 25 years. So that's also kind of comforting as well, and makes me realize, okay, there's definitely, and for all this time to have passed and to finally get back into, like, you know, finally they went back, put pen to paper a few years ago, came up with a proper script. That probably means that, like, you know, this is, you know, I don't know, a project of love that they've spent time dedicating it to it, and also there's probably something really good there that they, after all that time, they came back and got the studio to back them again and said, okay, yeah, there's something there that's worth investing in. So yeah, that's definitely something that would make me feel better, feel more comfortable, and feel more confident in the end result.
True, yeah, and I'm only just thinking this now as well, and but it is something that had made me feel a little bit better about the movie. But Viggo, a long time ago, said that he would only come back if the script was good, if it was, you know, if it represented his character well and it honored Tolkien and all that kind of stuff. And he wanted. Yeah, the rumor is that it wasn't him turning it down. Yeah, it was he was open to the idea. Well, that's what the rumors have been so far. So unless something comes out in the next couple of weeks that no, he had a meeting and he turned it down because the script was shit. We'll see. But just finally on the Hunt for Gollum news, because there's a couple more bits to get into, but I just wanted to throw this in here as well. Elijah Wood was recently at the Fan Expo in New Orleans. Now, he was asked again about, you know, him returning for the Hunt for Gollum, and he was kind of like, oh, you know, I can't say anything, but, you know, you can trust a wizard, because Ian McKellen was the one to announce it. But Ian McKellen announced it live on stage. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the things that Elijah Wood said at the Fan Expo in New Orleans is, quote, "I'm excited for Andy to direct it. It feels so unbelievably appropriate that he directs a film about his character that he has really made his own. I'm thrilled. It'll be great. And I'm excited to see. I know their intention is to make other films in this universe, and that's exciting. Interesting to see where that goes, but very exciting." How many times did he say the word exciting there? But yeah. Other films, you say. Ooh. So what else could we do? We've already talked about Angmar Wars and things like that, but yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? That Elijah Wood, I don't know, was that kind of a slip? I haven't seen many people report this, but
like, it would be cool if we got films of, like, not just around the same storylines and the same characters. Like, they just like, if they come up with a film about the dwarves in the Blue Mountains or something, or speaking of Blue Mountains and Blue, like, I mean, where are my blue wizards at? Like, I mean, can we get to see them?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that there's no material on, so it doesn't. Well, there's not no material, but there's very limited material, so you don't need to have rights to anything. You could just make something up.
I don't even know. I don't think I'd even watch the movie on that. I'm just still burnt about the fact that, you know, Rings of Power had that perfect opportunity to just sneak in a little blue wizard and didn't go for it. So, no, I know. But I don't know. Yeah, go back to
horrible
dwarves. Nice film focusing on the dwarves, like, as I said, in the Blue Mountains. But you know, we could either see, we could see dwarves in those different locations.
We've seen dwarves in The Hobbit. We've seen, obviously, plenty of hobbits in the movies. We've seen plenty of men. Or have we seen plenty of men? Like, maybe we could have a movie that's solely about Gondor or
Osgiliath.
We've got Rohan from the War of the Rohirrim. Osgiliath, like, that would be so cool. There is a lot of talk about that in the... Yeah, that's in the appendices, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'd love to see more of that with the style of Peter Jackson's Gondorian soldiers, you know, that kind of thing.
I just want to go back and read the appendices again and just see what other, like, I don't know, the last king of the last king of Gondor that challenged the Witch King to, you know, one-on-one combat, and that was never seen again. Aenur, I think his name was.
like that's another story. Like you could
Yeah.
do a film about that king.
Yeah. He's
So
badass.
I just love the style of Peter Jackson's canon. So anything like that would be great. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is very much alive and unspoilt. So we're probably going to be getting a lot of movies in the future. And I think Elijah would kind of let that slip there. But on to the 25th anniversary special, because a lot of people have been wondering what's going on with the films. There was a little announcement. So like I'm sure many of our listeners are aware, Johnny, you're aware as well, that Empire Magazine dropped a very ominous picture of the Circular Ring poem with the inscription coming soon inside it, and it got us all buzzing. People were guessing, is this the Rings of Power? Is it Hunt for Gollum? 25th anniversary, even is this about the new game? But it turns out that it is a celebration of the 25th anniversary with a big issue on Lord of the Rings containing new photo shoots, interviews with the cast of Fellowship of the Ring, and more. So I actually bought that magazine, and it's supposed to arrive today, but it never did. So I don't know what's going on. Can't read about it online. Yeah. So there might be something in there.
Dibs them, sealing it off.
Yeah, it was only like a tenner, so I'm delighted to get it. But I have taken some of the more interesting quotes from the issue's preview. So I know I said we were done with this, but Philippa Boyens on the Hunt for Gollum movie, she's quoted to say, "It's an adventure story with a really strong psychological interior story that's going on as well." So I think they're really going to play into Gollum's two-sided nature, his kind of split personality. I think that'll be a big feature in this film. Yeah, but some more interesting bits from the 25th anniversary special magazine that we've got. Remember, our friend Matt from Nerd of the Rings had coined the term mithril cut. Do you remember this, John?
I do, yeah. I do remember.
Would you mind explaining what that is if you know about it?
I do mind, because I have no idea. No, the mithril cut, I'm pretty sure it's just like what we're all waiting for, the extended editions, pretty much. I suppose the new revamped version of the movies to come out, where we get all the behind the scenes stuff that was shot. There's like hundreds of hours of stuff that's there that is has never been released, has never seen the light of day. We know that there's some clips that we've seen of, for example, like Eowyn battling at Helm's Deep and stuff like that we're like, okay, we know that scene was shot because we've seen the clip of it, whereas the whole actual that scene and just different bits and pieces like that. So
yeah, well, the mithril cut, you said it correctly pretty much there. It's something that Matt Graff from Nerd of the Rings he coined because, like you said, there's lots of material that hasn't seen the light of day. It's kind of we haven't seen it, and then there's some stuff that we've seen snippets of. So you mentioned Eowyn battling at Helm's Deep. There's a still of Sauron killing Gil-galad we've seen images of, but like that's all we obviously know about that scene at the very beginning where Sauron cuts his hand open kind of to create the ring with his blood and with gold. That was the storyboard, but like, you know, things like that, even it doesn't even need to be finished edited. It doesn't need to be music. But just get to see some of this, like things we've also seen Gimli and Legolas, like Gimli looking at diamonds or something, Legolas flaunting around the woods, and it kind of looks like an epilogue to the destruction of the ring. We've seen Faramir's wedding, and obviously footage of Frodo becoming Gollum-like in a vision.
Oh, yeah. Now, again, I'm assuming that we got the cream of the crop of all the stuff that they had there on standby in the original ones. So whatever they give out in these extra ones, if they ever do, in this mithril cut, I would say we shouldn't expect it to be the same quality of what we got in the original ones, unfortunately. But regardless, I think all Lord of the Rings fans are just like, we don't care, we want to see it. We want to see, like you just said there, an image of, or just a small little clip of Legolas and Gimli walking into the glittering caves and just been like, oh, isn't that nice, the two of them in there. Or
we just want to see the full clip, I suppose, or you know, at least the clip in HD and not some, like, you know, it looks like it was taken on some old 2004 camera phone or something.
But even as you said, even storyboards, just seeing, like, you know, a couple of clips, you know, connected that into a few stills of the storyboards and whatever, just so we can see the story that they were planning on telling if they never actually got around to shooting the whole thing as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't want to burst your bubble or anything, but Peter Jackson was actually asked about this rumored Mithril cut, which has only been, Matt from Lord of the Rings coined it, and it's been kind of talked about. We signed a petition for it a long time ago, but it's only been talked about online amongst fans. But it officially made it into this Empire magazine interview, and Jackson was asked
Really?
about it, and he said, "Are there great scenes that we never used? The answer is no. There are bits and pieces, I guess, but if you did an extended cut, or whatever it will get called, it would be disappointing. It would be the extended cut with a few extra seconds of something here and there. It wouldn't be worthwhile doing." Philippa also reacted to a particular deleted scene of a clean-shaven young Aragorn with Arwen. That's another deleted scene that we've seen before, just them kind of frolicking about in the forest. And she said, "There was that. It was in Lothlorien, but there's not a lot. There really isn't." Part of me, by the way, is thinking like they're trying to downplay this, but I don't know, because we all know what Peter Jackson said at Comic-Con, a good few years back for the Hobbit movies, when he said an extended edition. Those are his words. Like, so he said maybe for the 25th anniversary. Now, obviously, the 25th anniversary of the Return of the King could be something, but anyways, I'm going to read just another bit of what the article says, which is very interesting. The article does go on to say, "What might be possible is a Lord of the Rings mega documentary that Jackson hopes to make one day, claiming he has plenty of footage to pour over. The footage contains alternative takes, it contains bloopers, it contains a bit more of a sense of the mechanics of the making of the films, but to this day I haven't persuaded the studio because obviously it's a big undertaking." So that was Peter Jackson that said that. So yeah, I guess what we're learning here is there's not going to be an extended edition, but I don't know about you, Johnny, but like, to me, that's perfectly fine. Those movies are perfect. The extended editions are perfect. I would be much more up for seeing a kind of a documentary thing of showing all of those clips that we haven't seen, and Peter Jackson talking about them, and
Yeah,
the cast talking about like how they film and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, what do you think about that?
definitely, 100%. And like combine that with bringing back now like Peter Jackson, all the filmmakers, and loads of like staff and just crew and members of like people that worked on the like extras, all that kind of thing. Bring people back in and have interviews with people and just talk about their experiences and like have that be kind of like snipped in and out of what. So have some footage. What I'm saying is like 25-year-old footage or 20-year-old footage, whatever, of the stuff that didn't make it in, but then flash to an interview that happens like this year or something with some guy who's playing. What's the actor's name that plays Lurtz? Do you remember that guy?
Saul? Sammy?
I don't know why he was the first
Don't
one that
know.
I thought of, and I couldn't remember his name. Sorry, but that's what
Sorry, Saul.
what I mean is like that kind of thing where like I just love hearing like these little nuggets from, oh yeah, here's a cool story of what happened when we were trying to shoot this scene and we couldn't quite get this, so we did this. There's that guy that we were talking about recently, the guy that we follow on Instagram, and I think he worked in like the sound editing department, and he was talking about different things that I think he did some
Oh, yes.
visual editing and sound editing, and he spoke about creating the shot of dropping the ring and stuff like that, where he had to cut out a few frames, yeah, and just to make it look like the ring snapped down into place even faster than it did. So to make it to add more weight to the ring, and then he had to do the same thing with the sound, that he was banging and making all these sounds of like metal crashing onto different surfaces, and he still couldn't get it right. So basically, he cut out the central part of the wavelength, and that created the sound for the ring as well. So I don't know, just all those guys like little stories that maybe they're completely boring to other people, but I'm all for it. I'm like, yeah, tell me more of these.
Absolutely. And first of all, the behind the scenes that we already have of all of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits as well, but particularly the Lord of the Rings, those are the gold tier standard of behind the scenes of any movie. When they came out, 2 extra discs or whatever it may have been, I think it was 2 discs per movie. And some people watch this and inspire them to go on to create
So many
movies
people,
themselves, or to
yeah.
go into. So many people have talked about it. So like, absolutely, there is an audience for it, and people will be obsessed. By the way, I looked up your man's name. It's Lawrence McCower or Lawrence McCore. is the guy that played Lurtz, and I think he played a couple of other guys as well.
Very good. At the same time, I was looking up the Instagram handle of this guy that I was talking about as well. His name is Dave_Farmer. So just to shout him out as well. He's got a great channel, and he worked on the visual and sound. I think he did like visual and sound editing for the films, and he's always giving like little stories of what goes on behind the scenes. So go check him out as well.
Deadly. Something else as well that's interesting is the information that I just gave to you there. I tweeted all of this out, and I got I got many responses. That like loads of people, you guys have been really, really good responding lately and giving some different tidbits. But we got a response from Bill Hunt, and he said, quote, "I can confirm 100% that the cut doesn't exist and that the mega doc could yet happen." So who is this Bill Hunt guy? I was like, who is this dude? He had a lot of followers. I clicked in, a lot of our mutuals follow him. A lot of our respected mutuals followed him. So I found...
What about our disrespected mutuals? What were they doing?
Oh, those idiots. No, I'm only messing. I love everyone, but I mean respected within the Lord of the Rings or film industry world. So that's what I'm talking about. So that usually makes me go, maybe we should be following this guy. Well, anyways, this guy, Bill Hunt, he's also respected in the digital media space, as he is the founder of the company Digital Bits, which is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD news website. I know it wouldn't be the most interesting thing to me if I was creating this, but anyways, this is his passion. He was actually very prevalent in our Lord of the Rings world around the time when the 4K Lord of the Rings movie was coming out. So, the 4K box set was coming out. I saw he was being interviewed by theonethering.net, and he was doing lots of coverage for it. But yeah, I responded and I asked, does this mean, however, that there is no intention to ever edit those clips that we famously know of, even to release in small bits? Could they all be used for the documentary, perhaps? To which he replied, to be announced. But I think the idea would be to include them in some kind of documentary release. So it sounds pretty good. It sounds like all the stuff that we have seen bits of, that we've mentioned.
It sounds like all of our deepest, darkest dreams coming true. That's what I hear.
It does. It sounds like Disneyland on steroids. But yeah, in general, it looks like we may be getting some sort of Lord of the Rings mega documentary at some point, which I would love. And also, I can't believe I didn't think of this before, but like Peter Jackson famously has made, after his movie career, he's made some very popular documentaries in things that he has keen interest in. Yeah, he had the Get Back, the Beatles documentary, and he had one on World War I as well. I don't remember the name, but he kind of recolorized it, and he's very interested. Really? He's fascinated with World War I, and possibly World War II.
And King Kong, he's fascinated with.
And King Kong. I know he's got his own museum where he collects World War I fighter planes and tanks and all this kind of stuff. But that
to be rich. What do you do?
Be a multi-billionaire.
I collect stamps. What do you collect? I collect World War I tanks.
I'm too poor to collect stamps. I collect tears and depression. That's all I
collect pennies off the street. I know wish fountains.
When you see someone throw away a cigarette and it's like not completely burnt all the way down and hasn't rained that much, I pick that out of the puddle and I put that straight in my mouth. Yeah, so guys, let us know what ye think about this potential mega doc that we'll see from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, moving on, those are kind of the big things. I have a couple of smaller bits to announce as well. There has been, I don't know, Johnny, if you'd be massively interested in this, but I know a lot of people are. There's new Lord of the Rings Lego sets that have been announced. There are two. There's one that's been announced, one that's been rumored. So the first one is the Lord of the Rings Sauron bust. Something I wouldn't really care for that much. It's his head, a big head. It's a 538 piece. And get this, it has an 18s plus rating, or rated R for our American friends.
Because it has actual bust. How would it be 18s? I don't understand.
I don't know. I actually think I looked up, and a few different Legos, like quite a lot, are rated R or 18. What the hell does rated R even mean anyways? Really, really bad.
I don't know. It's like 18s for America, I think.
I know, but I'm like, what does the OR stand for?
Restricted.
Ah, that makes sense. It's strange. Like, I thought Lego was for 3 to 99-year-olds or whatever it usually says in the box. But anyways,
That's why Dick Van Dyke can no longer do it.
yeah,
No longer play
exactly.
with Lego.
He's legally not allowed to play with Lego.
I love Lego. But I was a massive Lego fan when I was a kid. But I was always, I never really was into, well, not because it was by choice, it was just because I didn't have any money back then. It was my parents that were buying the Lego for me. I never really bought, or I never really had the kind of, the branded Legos. You know, I think it's also became much more popular in the last few years. Like, you know, just now you go into a toy store or a Lego store and it's just all like Star Wars Lego, and here's, you know, Indiana Jones Lego, and whereas like when I was younger, it was just generic pirate Lego or whatever, or, you know, just a big like a big box full of little Lego blocks or whatever.
You're showing your age to the audience here. Really showing your age.
It was just, you know, that's how the 90s were, you know.
Lego minifigs aren't even yellow anymore. They're like skin colored or orc colored or whatever. Yeah,
they're not yellow.
They're no more Simpsons Lego. Speaking of minifigs, this reportedly comes with a Sauron minifig as well, identical to the one that was released in last year's Barad-dûr set. So this is coming in at a reported retail price of $75, $74.99, and it's due to release on March the 1st, 2026. So that's what's been kind of officially announced. I think it's fairly official now, but there's been a recent report from the Brick Tap Instagram page that claims that an upcoming Lego Icons Lord of the Rings Minas Tirith set will contain 8,278 pieces and at least 10 minifigures. It will retail between $600 and $650, and it will release on June 1st, 26. So this set could be, if reports are true, it could be the 6th biggest Lego set ever made, with its rumored 8,278 piece count, putting it above the Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon, but just below the recently released $1,000 Lego Star Wars Death Star that has over 9,000 pieces. The minifigs are going to include Gandalf the White, Aragorn, Denethor, Pippin in Gondorian armor, that is, guards of the Citadel, Gondorian soldiers, and possibly exclusive armor or redesigned torsos. So there you go. I have to say, though, if they don't have some sort of clip of fire or flames that you can attach to Denethor so you can throw him off the very top, then they've really missed the point. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, that's some Lego set announcements.
Because if they don't do that, it's going to be like a health hazard, because people are going to be setting their Denethor on fire and then throwing it off. You know?
Yeah, I actually didn't think of that, but yeah, that's definitely going to be.
And then filming it on their phone on the opposite side of the room and playing it back in slow motion.
This is why Lego is rated R for people nowadays, because you can't just do that anymore. Yeah, moving on to some more recent news. We've had Stranger Things recently. Did you watch it, Johnny? Did you watch the finale?
I did.
Yeah? Did you like it?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
One of the standout, I suppose, recent actors from the show is Jamie Campbell Bower, who plays Vecna. So Stranger Things fans can be happy because Vecna, aka Henry Creel, he will be in the Rings of Power season 3. This has been confirmed. This was speculated or kind of announced by Fellowship of Fans a long time ago, but it's been confirmed. Rings of Power.
Is he an elf?
Well, yeah. What do you think? Like, a lot of people have guessed maybe Celeborn, maybe Glorfindel even.
Oh yeah, I don't know when I think he's got elf features. I think he's very pretty.
He's very pretty, but he's got a bad guy voice, doesn't he? Like, have you seen him in interviews? Like, he's got a very deep voice, and he's naughty.
Yeah, I don't know, like either that or else like he could play a man. I suppose he could be a Númenórean.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've heard that one, but that's a good idea. Except the new one, yeah, possibly. But I think you're right. I think he does have elf-like features. Now, it was
high cheekbones, isn't he?
Yeah, but also his eyes, they're very sparkly. You can get lost in them.
Yeah,
anyways,
he's got very clear skin.
Very clear skin, yeah. It was reported way back when it was first announced that he was going to be in Rings of Power Season 3 that he would probably be playing the Witch King. And I think that was because on his X profile bio, it says just a Witch King or something like that. He has some reference to Witch King. And we actually kind of tweeted that back ages ago and turned out to be kind of wrong. So then we had to retweet how wrong we were. But anyways, just to go into some more of the speculation, our friends at Fellowship of Fans have released an exclusive that Jamie has mainly shared scenes with Morfydd Clark, who plays Galadriel. So season 3 is going to have a similar opening to season 1 and 2, where it's going to have a prologue kind of going back and telling us all what happened in the past. Obviously season 1 was the big prologue.
Right.
Season 2 was kind of like, do you remember Sauron becoming a blob, getting killed and all that?
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking,
it wasn't really a prologue though, was it? It was just kind of like a time lapse.
Yeah, but like, that kind of thing. But like Fellowship of Fans have exclusively revealed that the same kind of thing is going to happen at the beginning of season 3, where there's a time jump. Like,
well, we know there's a time jump between.
No, I mean, sorry, time jump backwards, and there'll be a prologue kind of thing. Then there's going to be a time jump forwards. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really know exactly, who he's going to play. It is going to be interesting, but I think I'm more excited now after seeing Stranger Things and seeing what this actor can do. And yeah, I'm excited to have him on board.
It was nice to see him more this season, I suppose, without all the makeup on, because we just mainly saw him as Vecna in the previous seasons, and then also, I suppose, we did see him as one, as well. But we saw him kind of outside of those two scenarios this time as well. We saw him as the Mr. Whatsit, and it was cool to see another string to the bow.
Yeah, so guys, let us know who you think that he'll be playing, because I'm curious to hear what the general consensus or the general fan opinion is on that, because it's kind of all over the place. Kind of hasn't been talked about that much recently. But yeah, excited for that with season 3. Now, just to get on to some not so happy news. This is a little bit unfortunate, but Evangeline Lilly, the actress that plays Tauriel in The Hobbit, and she's also known from things like Lost and Ant-Man, she had fainted and hit her head on a rock recently. The 46-year-old recently shared a video clip on Instagram talking in detail about her recent health diagnosis. So she said, "It's late on January 1st. The first day of 2026, and I'm entering into this new year, the year of the horse, with some bad news about my concussion. A lot of you asked how I'm doing. A lot of you have inquired about the brain scans that you heard I got. The results came back from the scans, and almost every area of my brain is functioning at a decreased capacity." She further revealed that she does have brain damage from traumatic brain injury. So it's obviously very sad. She did go on to give us a silver lining when she said, "But that's okay. My cognitive decline since I smashed my face open has helped me to slow down and helped me to have a more restful finish to 2025. I think this was the calmest, most restful Christmas holiday I've had maybe since I had children, so 14 years ago. So that's a good thing." So yeah, it's nice for her to finish on a positive, but yeah, like, it sucks, and we're really wishing Evangeline a speedy recovery. It's awful news.
Yeah, it's terrible news, and for something just innocuous, it seems like you wouldn't expect that to happen at all. It's not like she was shooting a danger scene or something, just fainted and managed to fall badly and hit her head. Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate, really sad, and I saw that clip for her as well, and she's a great actress.
But we're sending our thoughts and prayers. But there has been a Lord of the Rings game that has been rumored, kind of softly announced, but not really. So the brand new Lord of the Rings game is in development and has been for some time. Sources close to the game have told Insider Gaming, that's quite a reputable gaming journalistic website, that a new title is to be at least partially funded by the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. This funding should roughly equate to 100 million, give or take. So that's a big budget for a game. And an update from October 20th, Insider Gaming has learned that the deal with the Abu Dhabi Investment Office has been signed. It's currently unclear if or when a public announcement will be made. As far as what the game will be, sources didn't want to say too much. What was said, however, is that it will be a third-person action game that is designed in a way to compete with the Hogwarts Legacy game. So I'm not sure, Johnny, how much you know about Hogwarts Legacy. Like I've talked to you a little bit about it, but similar to Red Dead Redemption and obviously Grand Theft Auto, where it's this massive open world game with extremely fun gaming mechanics that are unique to the Wizarding world. So, you know, I played this game the whole way through and I absolutely loved it. The attention to detail, the way the game just immerses you in the world, same way as Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto and stuff. But obviously in a Harry Potter world that you love so much, it does such a good job of just making you feel like this you're part of the world, even though like the music is different, but you just feel there. And I know that this game that's talked about for Lord of the Rings, it could do the same type of immersion, I suppose. It's exactly what I want. Can you imagine, you know, the Shadow of War games or the Shadow of Mordor games? Like imagine them on steroids with lore accuracies and more details and side quests throughout. I think that's what this game could be. So yeah, I'm massively excited for it.
Yeah, I'm sure most of our listeners will know that we're big into our Lord of the Rings games, and we've got lots of soft spots for some of the old ones. Yeah, I know that you've been telling me about the Hogwarts game recently and how it just makes you feel so kind of cozy and warm, and you don't need to be going off doing tasks. You can just go around and fly your broomstick, or
fly the broomstick. You can just go to a class and learn about potions, but it actually helps.
Yeah,
it's not just like
deadly.
It's not like bullshit. Like you actually need some potions. You know, if you want to go invisible and do a task, you're like, oh, I need to learn how to get the invisibility spell or cloak,
class,
you know, that kind of stuff and everything.
But you said that the music is not the same in the game, no?
Yeah, well,
for Hogwarts, they also didn't have the rights to that.
No. So, well, they actually did something very clever. I think. Okay, so how does the Harry Potter tune goes? It kind of goes do 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 do. Like they do something very similar where every time you like complete a task, it goes like do 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 do. Like they use almost the same notes and maybe just change the timing a little bit, but like the rest of it isn't anything of John Williams' score, but it is very reminiscent to the movies. You would feel like you're just in a random scene. And it also reminded me a little bit of when I played, I know you never really got a chance to play this game much, but the Battle for Middle-earth game, that actually did have the rights to a lot of Howard Shore's music, and a lot of it is played, especially when you're in the main menu, when you win a battle, like when you're victorious, then it plays some Howard Shore music. But just the general gameplay music is just its own thing. And it took me years to realize this actually wasn't Howard Shore. It just sounded so similar, the same vibes. I was always so immersed. So if they could do something like the Battle for Middle-earth games or Hogwarts and apply it to this new game, I'd be so up for that. It'd be class.
Yeah, sounds incredible. And like the feedback from the Hogwarts game is so positive in general. So if that's like their main competitor for this game, well then that bodes really well, I suppose. And I definitely, it's about time there's been a good like massive open world Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
Because it's the most massive open fantasy world that exists. So
yeah.
I mean, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's like even just to think of games like Skyrim or Oblivion, like those are known to be huge fantasy games, like massive open world games, but the map is so big, so intricate, so detailed. But like somebody just made that up. I don't know who's behind it. Is it Bethesda Games or I'm not sure. But like somebody made that up. Whereas the Lord of the Rings is already there. I know there's Lord of the Rings online or LOTR, but like it's not the same. And you and I are never going to be the kind of people that play that kind of game. I want like an action, action adventure, third person
quests,
good graphics quest game. Yeah. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, even like Shadow of Mordor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's better.
Like those are fairly open world, and like I remember kind of like you're going, oh man, you should discover this whole place. Just the excitement of running around and like looking at yourself, where am I on the map, and kind of going, oh look, this place over here is this little like orc settlement or whatever, and just I don't know, I love the excitement of exploring new areas and new territories. So if you had that times 10, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know it's got nothing to do with Lord of the Rings, but I just thought of it since we were kind of talking about music and Harry Potter. But it was just announced today that Hans Zimmer will be doing the music for the new Harry Potter TV show. So I thought that was kind of cool.
No way.
Yeah, so there you go. And
that's a big crossover.
It is big, and I tweeted underneath the post that, like one of the original posts that came out. And I said something like, "Oh wow, that's going to be big. Like it's going to be tough to take over from John Williams." And then somebody else said, somebody commented underneath my tweet and said, "Well, he's done it before when he took over, when he did Man of Steel. You know, he took over the Superman theme from John Williams as well." So I was like, "That is true. It's a good point." But that's pretty much all the news. Like I've got a couple of bits as well just to say ourselves. Like, first of all, on a personal note, our social media bread and butter has always been on Twitter. Some people might say that's unfortunate, or sorry, X as it's called now. But yeah, kind of like when Minas Morgul used to be named Minas Ithil, it's changed from Twitter to X.
Are you? So is that the comparison?
I'm just making that comparison now because I know a lot of people are like, you know, that we hate Elon Musk. And
Twitter is now Minas Morgul.
Anyways, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone because we have officially crossed the threshold of 30k followers. We're actually about to hit 31,000 followers. So yeah, we, myself and Johnny had been talking about this a little bit behind the scenes, and we wanted to give a little bit back. So we're going to do a giveaway in the next couple of weeks, or maybe in just over a month. So keep an eye out on all of our socials for that. Also, even though we hadn't released an episode on this podcast since February 2025, so coming up on a year ago now, we still managed to get an amazing Spotify Wrapped. And it really hit us out how awesome and how loyal this fan base is. And when I mean fan base, I mean just you loyal 3 listeners out there. But yeah, we
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, we did. Like, to be fair, we got so many messages. I think our reply to
all throughout the year.
Yeah,
every week we're just seeing like the stats going up and up, and we're kind of going, how is it all going up? And we're not
doing anything. So maybe the longer we take a break, the more successful we'll be.
As soon as we come back, people are like, "Oh, that's what they sound like." Yeah, no,
this is that. Keep it as a legacy podcast, guys. Yeah, but you're right. Like throughout the whole year, we got many messages asking when we're coming back. But yeah, we are happy to dust off the cobwebs and get the ball rolling, and hope to be back with weekly episodes as soon as possible. They're not back just yet, the weekly episodes, and there is one exciting reason why. And Johnny, do you care to tell the listeners what we might be doing very, very soon?
There's no might about it, Dave. We are most certainly doing it, and that is that Dave and I are going to Middle Earth.
Woohoo! Mountains, Captain. Mountains.
So for the first time ever, Dave and I, plus our plus ones, will be heading over to New Zealand to see where it all began. And we're going to go on the journey of a lifetime. And we are so excited for that. So we're leaving very, very soon. And we're going to be over there for a few weeks to take it all in. And we'll be trying to catch as many spots as we can where anything to do with Lord of the Rings. And if you look online, you can find this map of or you can find this little plug-in that you can get for your Google Maps, and it shows you all of the things that are related to Lord of the Rings in the whole entirety of New Zealand, in both islands. And it's pretty overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, I need 3 years to just go around and scout all these places. But yeah, we're going to do what we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able to hit everything, unfortunately, but obviously we're getting the main ones. We've got Hobbiton. We're going to do the Weta Workshop tour. We're going to see Edoras. We're going to see a couple of other small bits and pieces. We're going to go to Rivendell. That's going to be cool. So yeah, we can't wait. But we may as well possibly, we're not 100% sure yet, but we might get a little bit of content over there. We'll certainly get photos and a couple of videos and all that kind of stuff. But I did want to ask some of you guys, some of the listeners out there who have perhaps been to New Zealand, or perhaps are listening from New Zealand. I know there's a couple of listeners there. What do we do? Is there any kind of, non-obvious Lord of the Rings spots, or, interesting things that we just may not have come across, any hidden gems? But yeah, if you know of anything, please leave a comment.
Let us know.
Johnny, as well, just before we wrap up this podcast, I was going to ask you, do you have any weekend plans by any chance?
No, I know where I think I know where you're going with this, but no, I've got midweek plans for what you might be doing.
Very good.
What are your weekend plans, Dave?
Well, obviously, yourself and myself and our plus ones that are going to Middle Earth have been watching the Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition 2 weeks ago. Then last week, we all watched together the Two Towers Extended Edition. But this weekend, the Lord of the Rings, the Extended Edition movies worldwide are going to be in cinemas, in AMC cinemas. They're going to be also in, I know for me, it's Cineworld. So the extended editions are returning for, I was going to say one day only, but Johnny, you're getting to see it in Salt Hill Cinema on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, so it's
awesome.
in Omniplex cinemas as well. So they had them on different days each movie, and I went to try and book The Return of the King on Sunday, but it was sold out. So I found there was like 3 or 4 seats left in the showing that was on the Wednesday as well. So it was on twice that week, Sunday and Wednesday, and I snapped up the last couple of tickets. So
nice.
I was,
were the spots
delighted?
Were they in really awkward spots, or was it? Okay?
No, pretty good. In that cinema, they're all 2-seater couches. So we got got one of them together, and they're kind of you basically bring a blanket and you lie down and you go to sleep in it. They're so comfy. So I can't wait for that. So that's Wednesday. It's so I'll be working, and then it's a 6:30 showing. It's from 6:30 till 11 o'clock at night. So it's my evening sorted.
I'm going to see the extended edition Return of the King on Sunday, and I was looking at the times for, I think there's a showing at 6 and then 6:20. So I thought that was kind of strange. Both of them had no real good seats available, so we've gone for the showing that's at 12:30. There was another. There was a showing at 12:30, and so we're going to get up, have some coffee, walk over to the cinema, and enjoy. Nice. And it'll probably be dinner time by the time we leave, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, it's a good time. It's a good time to go to the cinema.
But I think unfortunately we're not going to get the cool popcorn buckets and things that the AMC cinemas have been releasing and showing, the 25th anniversary popcorn and cup special edition shite. But it's going to be exciting nonetheless. So if any of you guys are also going to go see those movies in the cinema, please let us know.
You might have seen them by now.
You might have seen them. Depends when this podcast gets out. We're recording this beforehand, so maybe it'll be already too late. But if you don't want to comment on the podcast as well, I encourage you to do so. But please, you can reach out to us as well on X at Mellon_heads, and Instagram, which is Mellonheads Official, I think it is. Yeah, Mellonheads Official. You'll find us there. But that's about it, guys. So I know this was an episode that was so packed, but we are more than likely going to do shorter episodes when news for The Hunt for Gollum or The Rings of Power comes out, and I know there's probably going to be a lot more news coming out over the next couple of weeks and months, and also anything that's related to Lord of the Rings news and content. But of course, we will be back with our weekly lore episodes as soon as we can. But thank you all so much for staying loyal, being the best listeners in the world, and viewers, because we're on YouTube. But please help us out by liking this episode or liking this video on Spotify or YouTube or whatever platform you're on. Please drop us a comment. It really helps as well. Are you glad to have us back? Who would you cast as Aragorn in The Hunt for Gollum? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone that's getting into Tolkien, and share the podcast. It massively helps us. But until next time, guys, Namarie.
See you later, guys.